Hey everyone, welcome to the video. So I got delivery of these roofing panels. They're king span quad core roof panels. They're 100 millimeters deep and a meter wide and about 6 meters long. Okay, like I mentioned before, we get a lot of condensation building up on tools in the workshop. So the insulation on these panels should help a lot with that. Also to keep any leaks from the above existing roof out of the workshop. This really worked well for that. So as you can probably tell from this video, they were quite hard to maneuver and they were surprisingly heavy. So I had to get a helping hand. The best way we could find to do this was to counterlever them over the wall between the exterior and the interior, and then for me to go in and kind of guide them into place and get them to click down. I think all in all, this took about 2 hours once we'd figured out the approach. But as you can see from above here, they do seem to have clicked together quite well. And that allowed me to get the insulation up to the roof level, which was great because it meant the workshop was finally sealed. So with the shop sealed and the insulation all up, I was finally able to get the OSB boards up on the walls on the interior, which was great.
Okay, it's noticeably warmer in here since we got the insulation on, especially the roof in. It's still cold enough, however, that we get condensation on the tools, the cast iron tools like the panel saw and the bandsaw. So we need to install some of these. I've got 7 of these. These are thermostatically controlled tubular heat lights, I guess you call them. The idea is to set the temperature to 6 to 8 degrees Celsius and they'll kick on whenever it drops below that in the room. And I've got 7 of them. I've got 2 for this wall, 3 for the back wall, this is a bit longer, and 2 for the other wall across the way. So if they're all set correctly, place is insulated, it's pretty airtight, it should control the temperature in here to above freezing, so there's no condensation starting to form. And that's the plan. I might need to add some ventilation as well because I've read online that you do end up getting a bit of mold when a place is airtight like this. So we'll see how that goes. These are made by Dimplex. They're 80-watt tubular heat lights. And they come with these brackets for mounting them on the wall, pretty simple. One of the boxes was damaged, so I had to go and copy these, draw them up in Fusion 360 and print out my own with a 3D printer. It was easier, quicker than going back to the shop to get a replacement. Pretty simple. With a dovetail edge on the bottom. This sits in here. Dovetail goes down over it. So the screw hole here goes down in here into this threaded insert down here. And should hold them in place. So should work. Doesn't, we can always print more. It's the beauty of it. While I was at it as well, I 3D printed some junction boxes rather than going buying some for these specifically. They do have plugs on them, but I'll cut them off and wire them directly in because I want them always on. I don't want to be able to turn them on and off. Well, always on, controlled by the thermostatic setting, of course. Okay, let's get to it. First things first, we'll mark the brackets. So these should be down low because the heat travels up. So we're going to mount them kind of a third of the way into the room on both sides. We're going to use 3 of these on this wall. There's one around here, one in the middle, and one the same on the right. There's going to be a jointer planer sitting here, bandsaw's there. So I don't think there's ever going to be anything actually on this wall, other than maybe some tools hanging off, but there won't be any cupboards or anything like that. So I think we're safe enough to keep them down low, like on that wall. I'm going to continue on, get the middle and right bone, tackle this wall, wire them up, I'll do that off camera because I have to turn off the lights because I'm wearing it into the same circuit as the lights. So, you know, no electric, no lights, no camera. I'll come back once it's done. I might show up the rest of the OSB board as well. There's no one wants to watch me do that. I'll come back when I'm finished and get the shop a bit tidied up, and let's see what we've got at the end. Cool. I got this Jet JTP 310HH, which is a helical head cutter, planer thickness. So this thing just arrived. I had to get a hand to bring it in because it's extremely heavy. We had to actually take the cast iron tabletops off of it, carry them in individually, and then the base. So it looks good. The only thing that doesn't come with it is the power cable, so I'm going to have to actually go and buy one to plug into the socket that we have here. First impressions, seems pretty well built. So like I said, it's not plugged in, but you can see the helical head on it. So if any of these ever encounters a nail or something like that, you just open the screw, rotate the square, and use the third of the 4 blades. And like I said, it comes with another couple of spare ones, so that's great. You can use some locks that are height adjustment, so for adjusting the table, for depth of cut, and yeah. Like I said, cast iron's quite heavy. Dust extractor just pops around like that, so I need a flexible hose, I think, on this, and have the flexible hose run around the machine or front of it. Locks here on either side to make sure that this doesn't move. And down here on this side, like I said, our dust port. That's the lock for the table. We've got our height adjustment here. This is the lock for that. So there's quite a big depth of cut here. It's like 23 centimeters height that you can play in, so it's amazing. Off. To engage the power here, our handle. Comes with a push block, pretty standard stuff. Couple of replacement blades for the helical head cutter, a couple of replacement screws, and a safety guard for the top here for the workpiece. Well, test a bit of walnut on this first cut. I've checked the beds above the coat planer, it's set to 90 degrees, so I think we're good. It's it'll be interesting to see what it cuts like. I'll do a 1mm cut to start with. Okay, I heard the helical head cutters are much better than the straight blades, but I didn't expect it to be this much better. It is very, very smooth. overall, really happy with this one after it was planed and thickness. Uh, it was very smooth, 140 grit maybe type finish, maybe even a little bit higher. I'd say a final sanding at about 240, and that would be ready to use. Really happy with this. I'm going to be using this for years, so I'm delighted that it's really good quality. Okay, so I got some gym floor mats. They were on sale. I think because they were red, although in this like they look pink according to my daughter, which she loved. Treated it like a big jigsaw, helping me with the first 3 rows. So when I get this down, it should help with a bit of the sound and keep the dust and concrete down on the floor. I've ordered 11 packs of these. They come with like 8 in each pack, and I think they were like €20 per pack. 9 were delivered, so I've got them send another 2. So I'll get as much of it done today as I can. These are pretty good. They're 20 mil thick. I actually really impressed with them. Just pity about the color, but yeah, we can live with that. Or repaint it. Okay, so let's get cracking.
If you're still with me at this point, please consider subscribing. It doesn't cost you anything and it helps out a lot. Thanks very much.
So I bought these pipes from a local shop. They come in 1 meter lengths, which worked pretty well. We could have got one long sewer pipe, which is 2.4 meters long, and that probably would have done the whole thing. But the problem with those is they're 110 millimeters diameter. I had blast gates that are 100 mil. The machines are all 100 mil, so I decided to go with these pipes because they're 100 mil outer diameter. Well, they're meant to be, but they range from anywhere from 102 to 105. So that's been a bit of a pain. All of these different various black parts were 3D printed, including this blast gate. These 2 blast gates I had from my old system. I just used them. You waste not to. So these all work pretty well. This one's jammed. I need to clean it out, I think. Bit of manual force, it's fine.
This is everything we've got so far. Tools are up on the wall. The flooring is pretty much done. New dust collection is in. Needs a little bit of tuning, but it's good for now. The bandsaw, the planer in place. I got a new Trend T14 router, which I put in the temporary table as well. And we've got again another temporary wood storage system, but it'll do. What do you think? Uh, Let me know what you think of the floor as well. It's a bit, I think it's clean, but it's yeah, it's pink. Anyway, thanks for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one.